Starting the line of the legendary Zoids Zero collaboration, it is ZWZ00B Liger, with a kit of Fight Full Charge, Double Charge Claw, Wheeled Legs, and the leg ability of Adapter, which grants A rank across all terrains, minus Cyber, which remains at S, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now honestly, it is a very nice retelling and translation of the B Liger model, given its design and aesthetic as well to the original motif, but its kit is absolutely no exception to this either. Fight Full Charge is a brand new skill being debuted to the game, and more or less it is honestly very similar to how Shoot Full Charge worked with the Ultraman collaboration and the model Ultrasium. The difference, however, is that with this one, it's basically full charge, which will sap head HP to cap your Metaforce gauge at 100%, plus a fight boost bonus to self as well. Meaning in this case, this will allow B Liger to make use of his rather Metaforce-reliant kit very quickly and very easily right from start, more or less as you would expect from any other Metaforce-reliant fighter or nuker. Charge Claw, we've only seen a relatively fair handful of times at this point, starting with the original Grey Wars from the Digimon collab, and later with X-Size STG01. But basically put, Charge Claw is a scattered AoE as its standard counterpart, but it does get the bonus of Charge Buster and Charge Blade, where it will consume a small amount of Metaforce charge upon use, but it will grant bonus damage relative to the percentage of your charge. So even though Charge Claw by itself may not be super handy right at start, he honestly does make very, very good use of it because of Fight Full Charge to make use of that extra bonus right from start. And of course, pairing this off with a Hunter or Sniper Nature Metal will make this a lot easier to maintain the full Metaforce charge once you do get that full meter going. And of course, with Wheeled Legs, that does mean he is going to have a very fast and very high base mobility, as you see here at 961, which is par for the course for Wheeled Legs. But the really big standout here is the leg ability of Adapter, which means he gets to keep his high speed anywhere on any terrain, no questions asked, no ifs, ands, or buts, period. Which means he's always going to get at least a 10% bonus on all terrains, relatively similar to what you'd expect of a float leg in this case. And honestly, his stats across the board are really, really nice too. About 3,400 HP for the head, about 3,100 per arm, little over 4,000 for the legs, means he can take a hit and keep on kicking relatively decently. His base power, honestly, even for scattered AoEs, is par for the course relative as well too, at about 1410 and 1380. Success is really nice too at over 1,000 or over 1,100 each. His heat and cool honestly isn't super great at about high 500s, low 600s, but for charge reliant attacks like these, this also is relatively par for the course. With his leg stats, however, he is honestly clocking some relatively promising stats. About 1260 melee resist means he can take a hit at close range and keep on kicking pretty solidly. A shoot resist of 770 isn't super great, but also not bad either, as it means he is going to be taking a little extra damage from shooting-based attacks, but not enough to truly cripple him right at point blank at the start of the fight. An evade of just over 1,000 honestly is really nice too, as it means he is going to be relatively dodgy and not have too much of a difficult time dodging or grazing a lot of low success attacks, or even attacks that may have a higher likelihood of landing, because as a reminder, the Adapter leg ability gives him A rank, which is an additional 10% bonus to all of these stats. As a pure set score, I do honestly have to rate B Liger a pretty solid 7.5 out of 10. Even though scattered AoE attacks really aren't very consistent with their overall damage, he honestly does make up for this and takes it in full stride because of the introduction of Fight Full Charge, which means right at start, from turn 2 onwards, he'll already be fighting at a full charge and deal the most amount of damage possible, which actually makes using a scattered AoE attack like Claw or even Charge Claw in this case much more worth your time and much more so worth your turn. And of course, with the Wheeled Legs and Adapter leg ability, this means he's going to have no trouble on any terrain no matter where you use him or how you use him. As a mixed parts, on the other hand, I do have to rate him a little bit higher at an 8.5 out of 10. Given that even though Charge Claw on both arms may not be super handy, Fight Full Charge and the Wheeled Legs with Adapter will absolutely, without a doubt, be your big MVP parts if you do choose to go after him. Something else that is worth noting for B Liger as well is, unlike both Grey Wars from the Digimon collab and X-Size, who is available in the permanent pool as a pickup model, B Liger's arms are not heavy, meaning that you can equip Charge Claw on just about anyone very quickly and very easily with his parts without having to factor in a heavy limit, whereas on Grey Wars or Excise, you would have to.